Okay, so for week 6 of fall anime, the stories continue. Cool ass action scene from Bleach, bro. That was insane. Mob Psycho hit you with the emotions. Chainsaw Man being consistent, and all these other shows are pretty cute. So starting off with Chainsaw Man this week, episode 6. We continue this arc inside this hotel. Everyone's going crazy. We're stuck on the 8th floor. It's like the power of a devil. And we're just like chilling in the hotel room with our squad. So Aki, he's like the main dude out here. Very respectable. He's like the leader. He's kind of like keeping everyone sane. But yo, Kobeni's already off the rails. She's making all these noises. Because if they try to leave through the windows, it just goes to the next room over. If they go to the end of the hallway, just go back the other way. If they try to go through the roof, like break the roof down, they just like come through. So yeah, they're basically trapped inside this hallway. And you know why? It's the Eternity Devil. This is a very cool episode. So you just see everyone going stir crazy. Kobeni and Arai are just gone, like lost in the sauce. They see that the time has also stopped, so they probably won't get help from the outside. So we're stuck at the 8th floor, 8:18 a.m. So yo, what do? Well, Himeno's like pulling up some smokes, just chilling. We realize that they have food, electricity, and water, so it's not like a big deal. They can survive for a few days. But everyone from Himeno's squad is kind of like falling apart. While Denji's kind of just chilling. He took a nap. Now he's awake. He's with Power. Power's trying to be the prime minister out here, getting her Nobel Peace Prize idea. So yeah, she's just like normal crazy, not affected. We also get some backstory on Himeno and her cigarettes. You really need an addiction, like something to take her mind off the fear of killing devils. And she was also the one that got Aki hooked on cigarettes as well. She definitely a baddie for that. Also, after some time passes, Aki is like, all right, the devil's gotten bigger. So we're in some trouble. And we see the Eternity Devil just show up in the hallway, break down a door. He's like this big giant blob, just like coming in with a bunch of faces. And when he talks, his voice, he has multiple voices, which is nice and creepy. And basically, he's like, oh, let's make a contract. You give me Denji, dead or alive, and you can get out of here. So we also get some lore on a contract, so it's like kind of unbreakable. If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, it's kind of like an unbreakable vow, very similar. But then Aki's like, nah, I don't want to sacrifice Denji. We ain't doing that. We're killing devils, not humans. Himeno agrees with Aki, but Power is on team kill Denji. But then after that, shit is just escalating because Kobeni comes through while she just like wakes up from her panic attack. She pulls out the knife. He's like, yo, Denji, die so we can leave. But yo, she's not really a big threat. Aki kicks the knife away. Himeno knocks her out again. And we're back to where we started. We really love the psychological horror of being trapped in a hotel room. For all the Kobeni haters out there, if you and I were in this situation, we'd probably also be like scared as fuck. Oh, also we get a bit of her backstory, which is kind of interesting. So her parents basically forced her to get a job just so her older brother could go to college. And she also wanted to go to college, but no, her parents forced her to work. So the only two places that would accept her was the devil hunting industry or the sex industry. So it's either kill devils or perform sloppy blowjobs in the back alley. So yeah, she chose the devil hunting route, which probably wasn't smart. And then we also see the Eternity Devil is growing through fear. So yo, Kobeni had it. She kind of snaps at Arai for protecting Power at one point because Power ate all the food. And basically Kobeni's just like waving the knife around and the devil just like expands. The hotel hallway kind of flips sideways. And now the environment has just changed. The devil is like slowly creeping up. So then Aki is like, okay, I'll use my sword to kill it. So yeah, we see his sword is really powerful, but it takes time off his lifespan. So then Kobeni comes in again. Bro, she causing so much havoc this episode. Arai pins down Denji. Kobeni comes with the knife, about to kill him. And then Aki kind of breaks free of the ghost and protects Denji. Aki gets stabbed. Giga Chad, he's like, don't kill Denji. I need crazy people. I need strong people. I need people like him to kill the gun devil. We need him. So Aki kind of sacrifices himself, gets stabbed by Kobeni. She's all like kind of regretting it now. She's like, Denji, this is all your fault. Why didn't you just die? So yeah, Denji's had enough. Everyone's just like talking to him like he's an object. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out on my own terms. I'm gonna go get fed to the devil, but I'm gonna fight back. And also, if I kill it, Himeno, don't forget about our kiss. So Denji drops from the hotel door, goes into the mouth of the Eternity Devil. Such a cool scene as he's like sinking into its inner depths. And the anime ends there, bro. The episode is over. Very sad because there was like a cool chainsaw transformation moment coming. But yeah, we just gotta wait for next episode. Probably a lot of exciting shit will happen. Probably the end of this arc. It's been like kind of long. So yeah, can't wait for more. But yeah, love the characters this episode. They just interacted very well. We just got introduced to them. So yeah, these guys are pretty strong individually. But once they face like this unknown devil, everything just like falls apart and they're just like attacking each other. So yeah, very funny episode. Really liked it. The pacing was very solid. And also we got the ending review. So yeah, Chainsaw Man new ending over here. It's called Rendezvous by Canaria. Didn't really pop out too much, but it was like still a solid song. It kind of reminded me of like arcade music. So it definitely bopped. And yeah, that's it for Chainsaw Man this week. Can't wait to get more. Okay, so for Mob Psycho Season 3, Episode 6. This episode was insane, probably one of my favorites this week, just because the escalation of the fight. I love how in Mob Psycho the fights kind of like end up very emotional. We're not just like killing the villains, we're doing some talk no jutsu on them. And after that, they just add a lot of cool animation. The psychic fights go so hard. So yeah, this was really fun. So we start off with Dimple about to punch Mob with his god blow. He's like golden Dimple form out here. But Mob, he doesn't really want to retaliate. And then Dimple kind of laughs at his shirt like, bro, that's lame. And then Mob kind of sees that Dimple, he's like kind of still friendly to Mob. He's kind of like misguided. He just wanted to be like a god because Mob kind of gave him a chance. So Mob doesn't fight back. In fact, Mob kind of depowers himself. So then Dimple kind of feels bad beating up on Mob. This is where Mob brings out his talk no jutsu. You know, it could have been a cheap and sappy moment for Mob to just say, oh, I know you don't want to kill me, and we just talk it out, and then where everyone's happy. And now Dimple is like, yo, now that he accomplished his goal, he still feels like not fulfilled. So yeah, Dimple, he became a god. He has all these followers, brainwashed. He has his golden form. He's really powerful. But he always kind of wanted to be like Mob, like be powerful without using your powers. So yeah, basically they make up. They realize, yo, there's no point in fighting and killing each other. Let's go back home. Let's pretend this shit never happened. So yeah, they're walking. The thing is, Mob, he kind of like got sucked like all his powers through the tree. So Dimple's kind of carrying him on his back. Except, yo, there's a big plot twist. Because in an anime, when things are happy and seem to be resolved, but there's still half of the episode left remaining, you know some shit's about to go down. So yeah, Dimple gets ambushed by the actual tree. So the tree absorbed all that psychic energy. It basically became its own person, and it kind of wants to take Mob. It probably likes to suck on Mob's power. So yeah, Dimple has to protect Mob. And yeah, Dimple's still god form. Like, he's still golden, big, muscular. The problem is, bro, this tree is just like on another level. It keeps spawning like infinite bodies. As Dimple's like blowing it up, the tree just keeps overwhelming him. But yeah, this fight scene was literally insane. Just like characters flying through the air looks so cool. Dimple just like releasing huge explosive beams, the music, the soundtrack. So yeah, eventually Dimple wipes them all out, but he does get a bit overwhelmed. So after a bit of time, we see him back next to Mob. So he let Mob rest in a corner, and he sees that Mob is still tired and weak. And this is what he does. He tells Mob to go home. So Mob can barely move his legs. He listens to Dimple because he's under the brain control. We see that half of his body is just like torn off. He's like very injured, but he's still alive and fighting. So this is Dimple's final moment. He's out here sacrificing himself. He's fighting off this tree monster. So this kind of sucks. It was very sad, but then I'm like thinking here, yo, Dimple, you kind of created this problem yourself. So yeah, this was definitely a very effective way to kill a character. We see a lot of growth from Mob this arc. He kind of did a lot of stuff himself, made his own decisions, and basically everything seemed to work out. We see that the broccoli tree is kind of like flying away, so it doesn't exist anymore, but no one really seems to have any memory because they're all brain controlled by Dimple. But yeah, Mob goes to sleep. He's kind of crying. He sees that something is missing, and yeah, rest in peace, Dimple. Yo, rip Bozo. You kind of deserve this, but yeah, in the end, kind of like a very sad moment. Really loving this season, just like another high quality story. So yeah, we'll probably have a new arc coming soon. More psychic fights, more character development with Mob. We'll see Reagan probably. So yeah, that's it for Mob Psycho this week, and yeah, I can't wait to get more story. Okay, so for Blue Lock episode 6, the team action is going on. This tournament is happening. Isagi's team, they finally won a game. They're 1-1. So yeah, each game so far has been really close. It's been really tight, but they've been like kind of surviving on the edge. So basically this time the team's kind of confident. They have their weapon down in Isagi. All their teammates are kind of like working together, and now they kind of have a better strategy for the next game. So they're facing Team W. They do some research. So basically they're also 1-1, and they beat Baro's team. So that's kind of interesting. Their gimmick is that their main two captains are basically these two brothers. They're kind of like in sync with each other. They don't even need to communicate to pass the ball. So yeah, their offense is basically these two brothers. Besides that, yeah, we don't really know too much else about the team. Our team, however, we're kind of like changing our game plan. So now that we're more comfortable, we're gonna have like 3-man rotations on offense. So yeah, what could go wrong? Well, you know, a lot of stuff could go wrong in this show. So yeah, it seems like pretty easy so far. Our squad, they're kind of like being overwhelmed by the two brothers, but Isagi is smart enough. He makes a clutch play on defense. He gets the ball, and what do they do? So they pass it to Bachira, who kind of passes it to Kuwan. So we know Kuwan, he's like pretty level-headed. He's the dude that has like a lot of information. Basically the captain of the team. He kind of like calls all the plays, focuses everyone, and his skill is that he can jump really high. So he gets the ball and he makes a goal. He just like heads it in. So that was very easy, and it's also like very surprising. Like, is this game gonna be smooth sailing? It seems like the two brothers are like kind of dysfunctional now, so they're just really distracted. Team Z gets the ball, and they keep like kind of rushing on offense. So Kuwan, he seems to be in the zone. Like, he's been eating his vitamins or something, because he's just been making goal after goal. So he makes the second one, and he makes the third one. So basically 3 goals for Kuwan. And yo, you see where something is going on, right? So there was like part of the rules in Blue Lock where if you make the most goals on your team and your team loses the tournament, then you'll still make it to the next level of Blue Lock. So Kuon is kind of using that to his advantage. He made a back deal door with the other team, and then he's like, okay, I'll give you the information on like all our team's abilities. I'll kind of sabotage them. In return, let me get the most goals on the team, which is 3. So basically this whole first half was a whole act. So Kuon was a very reliable, like level-headed dude, but here it's just like full psycho mode. We see him smiling because he's gonna sabotage his team. So in the second half, just like the opposite happens. Kuon is actively giving the ball to the other team. Our team doesn't really catch up on it until 2 goals in. So basically we were up 0-3 and now it's tied 3-3. So that shit went on a turn really fast. And this is where the funny part is, because even if you succeed, your team's probably gonna beat your ass up. And even if they don't, you probably have a better chance of just like sticking with them, you know? And it's not enough to sabotage his team low key. He kind of like joins the other team, like faces behind them. And now it's 10 people versus 12 people. Still kind of have no worries. Like I feel like Isaki's team is gonna win anyway, but we're down 4-3. So like at best it might be a tie, but if we do win, it would be pretty sick. I wonder like how it would happen, because we see Chiguri, it seems like they're all trying to feature him. We got his backstory last episode where he tore his ACL, and now he kind of wants to quit soccer. He's too scared to kind of like move in the same way. So they called him the genius made out of glass. So he probably does have a reputation of being injury prone, but the fact that they called him a genius, bro, watch out. Once he gets his confidence back, he'll probably help carry our team to victory. So yeah, another interesting episode. You know, the soccer continues. They're adding more twists, so each game is not going to be the same. It's not going to be straightforward. So hopefully next episode we give Team W a big fat L. Okay, so for Arknights episode 3, bro, shit's popping off. We saw Tallulah last episode. She was like that fire lady, white hair. She's like, annihilation, bro. I'm gonna wipe you out. And then Avia, she kind of like backs off, like a little scared, but she realizes she has to protect the team. So yeah, they're about to be wiped out by the fire, but Avia goes Super Saiyan, kind of like unleashes her Oropathy magical powers, and basically creates like a huge barrier, kind of blocks the fire attack. Thing is, it's like using a lot of her energy. So it's like really kind of painful to watch, because like I'm concerned about her health. I don't want our main girl to just die over here. But yeah, basically it's kind of like a back and forth fight. Tallulah's kind of yeeting fireballs. Our team's kind of like defending. We see Ace with his big shield. He's kind of like the MVP over here. But basically we're running out of time because the catastrophe is happening right now. So yeah, this one there's just like meteors falling from the sky, just like big flaming rocks. So yeah, in the middle of the fighting, they're like, okay, we gotta like run away, evacuate. So Tallulah, we see she can block the meteors, but then part of her squad is being hit. She doesn't really care about her people. The Rhodes Island group, they're kind of in retreat mode, but they also have to defend off Tallulah. So basically Ace and a few other dudes on the front lines are defending while everyone else is running away. Amiya's like, no, we gotta come back and help them. But yeah, the rubble kind of falls, so they're blocked off, and yeah, they're basically running away. So it's kind of like a really sad moment. You know, a lot of like cool characters. I hope Ace doesn't die. The show is very dark. There's like consequences happening, and these cute anime girls are not enough to save the day. So after that, we meet another character while our team is running away. Her name is W. She kind of has white hair and these big like demon horns. We don't really know too much about her, but she's kind of like introducing herself to the team. It looks like she wants the doctor, like everyone kind of wants the doctor, so he's like very important. But yeah, basically she just introduces herself and like kind of runs away. So it's like villain established, but they don't really have time for fighting anymore because there's the catastrophes happening right now. But yeah, anyway, our team kind of retreats. They have their like kind of rescue plane. And yeah, everything's kind of sad though because this mission didn't go perfectly. They had to leave Ace behind and a bunch of other people. A lot of people are injured, and then this catastrophe just like wiped out this whole city. So yeah, in the end it's very hard, but yeah, we make it back to Rhodes Island. We get a lot of lore about the world, like stuff about cities. Like cities are flying with the power of Originium. We see Amiya has a bunch of rings on her hand that probably kind of enhances her power a bit, but it's also kind of like putting a strain on her heart. She worked so hard in this mission, kind of like creating barriers, fighting back, but basically once we reach Rhodes Island, it's kind of like really cool. It's basically like this big pharmaceutical company. It's kind of like a giant hospital. There's a lot of like animal people. They kind of accept everyone, and basically they're working hard trying to cure the disease, but it's also like kind of like good haven for people to just rest and relax. But yeah, basically another solid episode. A lot of like dark and scary things as we're like kind of like fighting a war but also trying to cure this disease. I'm really liking the world building and the new characters happening, and they introduce a new mission at the end of the episode, so we'll probably see that next time. Okay, so for Bocchi the Rock episode 6, another solid episode, you know, cuteness, Bocchi trying to like grow, break out of her anxiety filled shell, and kind of rock on like the butterfly she is. So yeah, last episode was a banger. They dropped a new song on us, Guitar, Solitude, and the Blue Planet. The problem is now they gotta sell tickets, and Bocchi literally has 0 friends. So yeah, this is her mission to try to sell 5 tickets herself. She sees that she can't get her sister to go and her dog because her sister's too young, and yeah, dogs can't buy tickets. So then she kind of tells them, no, I have my own friends, I'm popular, you'll see. So she kind of skips practice the next day. So yeah, while she's sitting in the staircase in public, she meets a new girl just literally dropping into the story. So her name is Kikaru, she has long red hair, and she also plays in a band. So yeah, very convenient. The problem is her gimmick is that she's just drunk 24/7. She's literally sipping on the sake. She's asking Bocchi, yo, can you give me some hangover medicine, some water? So yeah, Bocchi does this, like kind of gives her the hangover cure. So yeah, damn, this girl going hard. Bocchi's kind of scared, like, yo, this is a bad person, I better walk away. So while she's kind of sneaking out, Kikaru kind of grabs her guitar in her back, and she's like, oh, do you play? Oh, that's so cool. So Kikaru, just like downing a bottle of sake, is like, all right, why don't we do a live performance on the street, kind of like sell our tickets there. So Bocchi's like all nervous because, yo, she can barely perform in a crowd. Now she's performing in public. That's kind of a big hurdle to leap. But yeah, Kikaru's kind of helping her. Like, Bocchi's pretty lucky getting all these extroverted characters being friends with her. Kikaru has amps being delivered in, and yeah, basically they're performing in the middle of the streets. There's a festival happening, so they do get a big crowd. Bocchi, she's like playing with her eyes closed. The thing is, the crowd, they see that Bocchi is nervous, so they're kind of like cheering her name. And yeah, it's like a big step for her because she realizes that the people around her, they're not her enemies. They're not judging her. They're not hating on her. They're supporting her. So basically, yeah, you can look at them. She opens one eye and kind of looks at them. And basically, Bocchi plays her music really well. She feels good. And she gets to sell 2 tickets. They kind of perform again in a different venue, and she sells 2 more tickets. So 4 tickets down. Yo, feels good. And in the end, she sells the final ticket to Kikaru herself. But then Kikaru's like, yo, I can't afford the train fare, so can you spot me some money? So yeah, Bocchi kind of breaks even on that one. But yeah, very funny, feel good episode. Really love these cute developments with Bocchi. The animation is like very solid each episode. So I'm definitely looking forward to the story and the development of Bocchi each time. Okay, so for Akiba Maid War episode 6, things don't seem to be working out this time anymore. Each of the maid fights happening previously were kind of like people were dying, but things seemed to work out in the end anyway. But here it wasn't really fun anymore. It's actually like a huge maid turf war. People are dying out here. It's like a big emotional scene. And yeah, nothing really lighthearted in this episode. Basically, we've been following the Creatureland group so far, but we see that there's some Maidolin group as well, which seems to be a basic faction of normal maids. And they didn't really fight against each other. Like, we both survive in the city. The problem is a new girl comes in fresh out of prison. Her name is the Crimson Supernova, and she has blue hair, this red baseball bat, and she's like here to fuck shit up. So she sees the maids are kind of like trying to be peaceful, like they're surviving. Like if there's a turf war, they'll fight, but overall they don't really actively attack the other groups. So yeah, the Crimson Supernova, her name is Monami. She realizes that the pigsty, they shot up the bunny cafe in the first episode, so basically she wants revenge on them. So yeah, full gang war between her and the Creatureland group. She just makes her way aggressive and is now controlling everything. And yeah, our poor girls at the pigsty, yo, what are they gonna do? So they kind of have to fend for themselves. Since they shot up Maid Sheep last episode, which is kind of like a big earner, Creatureland group kind of disowns them and tells them to fight for themselves. So the streets are not safe for Nagami and the squad. But we still have Ronko on our side, so hopefully she kind of holds things down. We also see the blue-haired girl Narula, who's kind of like Nagami's friend. So I thought she would be kind of evil, like a double agent, but instead she like kind of cares for Nagami. I like having like a genuinely nice, friendly maid character. The thing is, since they're part of the Creatureland group and the Maidolin group, they're rivals. So the boss is like, yo, why don't you have an oath together, like your blood sisters? So yeah, they do this. Basically, her and Narula become sisters. They eat ramen together to kind of like share the moments. The thing is, this gang war is still happening. So Narula is kind of like warning Nagami, like, oh, the Crimson Supernova is gonna attack your maid cafe very soon. So then she gets outed as a traitor. So Narula, I feel kind of bad for her. She kind of helped our team, and now she's like living on the streets, like trying to survive. Nagami and Ronko kind of find her in an alley. They kind of invite her to the maid cafe. The thing is, Narula, she gets tracked down by the Crimson Supernova. So in this alleyway, it's Nagami and Ronko versus the Crimson Supernova and her backup. They got guns. Narula has a knife, and bro, it's kind of hard to watch. She has like no chance. I kind of feel bad for her. Like, why are you going so hard on this? She basically lost her life over here. She got shot. It's definitely a very sad moment. Like, I was waiting for a punchline, like a twist. But yeah, this signifies that shit is going down. And the Crimson Supernova is a pretty solid villain. So yeah, can't wait for this gang fight to continue. Can't wait to see Ronko kind of throw hands, protect the pigsty. Okay, so for Spy Family Season 2, Episode 7, I'll kind of go over this episode quickly. It's kind of broken up into 2 cute slice of life story parts. So first off, we see a new character, George. He kind of looks a bit creepy, like kind of a skeleton face and a bit nerdy. And the thing is, he wants to get Damien expelled. And Anya can read his mind. So she's like, wait, you can't get Damien expelled? Yo, that's gonna be a jeopardy for world peace. So yeah, what's the reason for this? Why is he jealous of Damien? Well, basically George, his company is like this pharmaceuticals thing that got bought out by Damien's company. So basically he's gonna be poor and probably has to drop out of school. And that's why he's targeting Damien. So Anya kind of protects Damien. She kind of covers for him while they were like having a fake fight. Anya's kind of like cheering him up. Everyone's like kind of consoling him. And then he's like, oh, you know, maybe I have the expensive caviar for lunch. Maybe everything will be fine. So then he's kind of like bribing everyone to give him stuff for his last day of school. So yeah, George is like living large, making all these friends while they're all like kind of taking care of him. At the end, there's kind of like this small musical bit where they just like sing together, kind of like a graduation song. And yeah, here's the big comedic twist. George's parents' pharmaceutical company wasn't actually getting bankrupted. It was getting bought out by Damien's company. So his dad's not getting fired. Yo, they just merged. Although if this is anything like the Twitter buyout, then bro, 70% of your staff is gonna be fired. But yeah, anyway, it's kind of like a misunderstanding. So George has to be forced to go to school the next day, and it's very awkward because everyone's looking at him like he just lied to their faces. So also after that, the next day, Anya forgets her gym uniform at home. So Yor's kind of chilling being a housewife. It's her day off. And then when she goes to Anya's room and sees the uniform, she sees like, oh shit, Anya's gonna get a bolt. She's gonna get expelled for forgetting her items. I gotta return this to her. So Yor goes full spy mode. She's like, I gotta go give this to her ASAP. So she's like, looking, should I take the bus? Should I take the tram? No, none of those options are fast enough. So I'm just gonna parkour through the roofs. She's basically sneaking into school, climbing up brick walls. The thing is, Lloyd, it's also like his day off from work. So he's also kind of spying on Anya into school. So yeah, after a lot of moments, a lot of misunderstandings, Yor finally delivers the uniform to Anya. The problem is, yo, gym class is not today. So it was a big misunderstanding in the end. Lloyd kind of sees Yor by herself, so he kind of like invites her on a date. So everything does work out in the end. Like our family is getting stronger. World peace is happening. And yeah, basically just another slice of life episode. Nothing really to write home about, but still excited to get more for this anime. Okay, so for To Your Eternity, Season 2, Episode 4. Another interesting episode. It's more of a backstory episode. We kind of learn about Bone-chan, what he's all about. Mr. Tasty Peach. Why is he kind of so weird and eccentric, and why does he want to be the king? First off, we see that Fushi wants to leave the kingdom because anytime he stays somewhere for a prolonged period, the knockers start attacking. So yeah, Fushi wants to leave, but then Bone-chan is like, yo, wait, hold up. You can't leave. I need you to be king. So we don't really know what that's all about yet, but basically they kind of like hang out, talk to each other, and then Bone-chan gets permission to go on his travels with Fushi. Fushi doesn't really mind too much, but at the end of the day, he really wants to be left alone. But yeah, we see funny moments with Bone-chan family. His little sister is like kind of cute. We see this dude in Bond's party who's kind of in love with him. So he actually raises the question to Kahaku, oh, can a guy and another guy fall in love? And Kahaku's like, yeah, the world is a big place. Anything can happen. So we said the god is kind of like trying to convince Fushi about like making more connections, finding love, a reason to live. So then after that, the people are kind of throwing a huge festival for Fushi. And then, yeah, we learn about Bone-chan backstory. What is this dude all about? So he's definitely a very interesting character. He's not super strong, but he has like some power inside of him. So ever since he was younger, he could see ghosts. He could see spirits. The thing is, like, everyone in the castle is like thinking he's weird, like, oh shit, he's talking to his invisible sword instructor, or he's trying to flirt with the cute girl that doesn't exist. So yeah, people got used to it, but his parents are like really concerned. And then for Bone-chan, it's like normal for him. He doesn't think anything is weird. But anyway, they kind of like leave him to his own devices, and he is like kind of living his life. And then he's hearing stories from Tonari. So Tonari's ghost is actually like visiting him the most. She keeps telling him stories about Fushi. So this is very interesting. It's like Tonari's kind of setting this guy up to meet up with Fushi, and if he can put 2 and 2 together, this is a very serious death flag for him coming up. So with that information down, we'll see what's gonna happen next. Bone-chan, he's not actually a schizophrenic, he can talk to ghosts, and I'm kind of curious what they're gonna do next time. Also, I'll quickly go over Bleach, the Thousand Year Blood War, episode 6. I just watched this episode, so it's kind of fresh in my mind, but a lot of shit quickly happened. The animation was insane. The fire guy, Yamamoto, bro, he came out. He was fighting against Yuabaka. We actually see Aizen making an appearance. He was in like this underground jail. So yeah, the goat makes an appearance. He kind of tells Yuabaka, yo, get out of here. I ain't helping you. But yeah, Yuabaka, he kind of just like gets back up because Yamamoto thought he slashed him. He slashed his body double. Bro, this dude was the imposter. So he comes back up and it looks like, yo, he killed Yamamoto. So yeah, this episode was the best we had this season. Just using the powerful animation to get you invested in the storytelling. And this is pretty much just like classic action shonen anime right here. So yeah, kind of excited to get more of the story. But yeah, this anime is hype. It's probably not going to cover that much in 13. But yeah, things are just heating up. And yeah, that's it for the anime review this week. Thank you for watching. I'm really enjoying all these memeable moments, all these action scenes. And can't wait to continue these stories, bro. If you're not liking Chainsaw Man, the other shonens like My Hero and Bleach have popped off. The slice of life shows like Spy Family and Bocchi the Rock continue. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on this season. And please let me know what your favorite anime this week was.